presents. The wrapping is so beautiful. And the bows, they are perfection. They're so beautiful that I'm afraid I'll mess them up if I touch them. Maybe I should just put them in this glass cabinet and just look at them. Nah, tear into them. Let's rock. Are you walking through a storm that feels like it will never end? Do you wonder if life's storms have stolen the beauty from your life for good? You're in the right place. My name is Heather, and like you, I've been through a storm or two and wondered if life would ever be beautiful again. Here we share warriors' words, stories of discovering beauty after battles, and the worth in your wounds. Pick up your sword or boxing gloves and join the battle. Your words are powerful, my friends. Make them warrior words. Now there are diversities of graces, but the same Spirit. And there are diversities of ministries, but the same Lord. Or there are different kinds of spiritual gifts, but the same Spirit. There are different forms of service, but the same Lord. And that's from 1 Corinthians 12 and its verses 4 and 5. The first version I read is from the Douay-Rheims translation, but you may have heard it more often like the second version I read, and I honestly don't know which translation that one is, but it is likely the one that you're more familiar with hearing. Graces are gifts given to us by God, and God knows us so well. I mean, He created us, right? But He knows us so well, and He knows the plans He has for us. So He knows just what gifts each of us needs in order to accomplish those plans. So His Holy Spirit gifts these graces to us. But just like any gift, we need to be open to accepting it. But what if you're not ready to accept His gift? Or if you were absent the day He was giving them out? This is one of the beautiful things, the many, many beautiful things about our God. He doesn't get angry or vindictive. He waits patiently, maybe with a nudge every now and again, but He waits until we are ready to accept His gift. Now, further on in that chapter 12, we see the Spirit gives gifts of wisdom, knowledge, faith, grace of healing, working of miracles, prophecy, discerning of spirits, diverse kinds of tongues, and interpretation of speeches. None of these are physical gifts, but they are all very valuable. Unless, of course, we bury them in the ground because we are afraid. Remember the parable of the talents? Yes. So let me offer a personal example. I used to hate the sound of my voice. I was afraid to speak in class at school. I was afraid to sing. In fact, there were times when I would just mouth the words at church because I didn't want anyone to hear me. And so I was afraid when the Holy Spirit indicated to me that I was to podcast and speak publicly. It took me a long time to accept this gift, along with the grace of speaking. And to be fully honest, I'm still not completely there. I thought I had that talk written that I was supposed to be giving. And I still think I'm supposed to give that talk eventually. But lately I've been feeling nudges in another direction. one that I hope to be able to share by the end of the year, or hopefully before the end of the year. I wasn't ready to receive this gift when the Spirit was ready to give it to me. But He has been patient. And as long as I am taking steps in the right direction, I believe He is there cheering me on, encouraging me to continue taking those steps. Because what I haven't really mentioned yet is verse 5, which talks about diverse ministries and diverse or different forms of service. The gifts of the Spirit aren't pretty packages tied up with perfect bows. They aren't cute little knickknacks we ooh and ah over and then put on a shelf to admire. No. They are meant to be used for profit, according to verse 7, but not necessarily profit for your bank account, although that sometimes does happen. The profit here is God's. We are to first accept the gifts and graces, and then we are to put them to use within those plans that He has for us. And while I would like this podcast to make some money to pay my bills, that's not necessarily its purpose. The Holy Spirit asked me to do it without a promise of remuneration. Tough word there. I am to use my voice to profit God, to build up His kingdom, to bring Him glory. So when I share these stories of surviving and thriving, each of these people has lessons to share. Maybe you won't have to endure something they did because you heard their story. Maybe your healing won't take as long because of a method someone else used, or maybe a book they wrote. My warrior words for you today are to be open to the gifts of the Holy Spirit and the graces. Ask God to send His Spirit to you with the gifts He has for you, and ask for the grace to accept them and use them in the way that will bring Him glory. In Latin, we say, Veni, Sancte Spiritus, which means, come, Holy Spirit, come. Veni, Sancte Spiritus, Veni, Sancte Spiritus. Pick one, the Latin or the English or another language of your choice, and ask the Holy Spirit to come and fill your heart and kindle in you the fire of His love. That's it for now. Remember, armor up, fight the good fight, seek beauty, and make your words warrior words. God bless.